everywhere I go now, because you're the one group that actually followed up on what I suggested at that Lowell meeting. You know, we always go to meetings and people need money, because I mean, money cures everything. You can have these great intellectual ideas and everything, but money can cure a lot of ills. And we always go to these meetings, and I always say to them, well, you know, we need your help. You know, write letters to the editor, call into the radio, do all these other, you know, support the things that we're talking about. And you people actually did it. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
But anyway, and Stand for Children, we did pretty good this year in the budget. We got 6.2 million more than last year. 1.2 million more than the governor's recommendation, I believe it is. Do I have the figures correct?
That sounds like what.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
Representative Nate.
They keep trying to change the funding formula. They tried to do it again this year, is change the funding formula, because obviously the existing funding formula benefits inner cities like Lowell to the detriment of some suburbs. And we always have to fight back trying to change that formula, because any change in the formula isn't going to help us. It's just going to hurt us. So.
Stand for Children helps to implement our actions, and it believes that experiencing the problem, the people experiencing the problem are the experts to solving a lot of the issues, and are the key to addressing the school funding problems. We have the most self-interest, and together we can reach out to enough voters to really sort of change things. So that's why we're here today. The Highlands Plus team in particular is one of the larger groups, teams in Lowell. We have 25 members and growing, and most of the members are from your district in the Highlands area of Lowell. We have come together for the statewide campaign and are participating in the process of identifying our first local issue. The big concerns for the Highlands Plus team were after-school programs, special education and enrichment programs, and then reducing class sizes. So those were sort of the top issues that we came up with. So the members across the city have also helped to organize the legislative meeting that you were at last month, and we've made TV and radio appearances, and are gathering out on the Commons in half an hour.
Of the K-12 education in Lowell and in Massachusetts, and in Lowell in particular. What the statewide, the SAT scores low, and the high percentage of students scoring poorly in the MCAS. In Lowell, for example, 30% of the 10th graders are scoring below proficiency. That is very dramatic, and that's probably also one of the reasons why the high school dropout rates are skyrocketing. And these are dismal results for our education system. A society defines itself through its values and through its capability to provide equal opportunity to all its citizens. Adequate and broad education of every child is a tool for that. Our society depends on having competitive, intelligent, and non-complacent workforce, an educated workforce. No child left behind as a federal mandate is a great promise, but it is an unfulfilled and broken promise. Adjusted for inflation, Massachusetts is still 491 million below its 2002 funding level. And in Lowell, for example, with No Child Left Behind, within a year, all our after-school programs got cut, almost all. And it's very...
They left the money behind, is what they did.
Yeah, they did, that's true. So as a parent, I'm obviously very concerned about the future of our children. And as a parent, it changes your view of things. I'm not worried what happened to us, but I'm worried about what will become of our children 20 years from now. Will they be able to compete for jobs, and will they have a place to live in, a comfortable, equitable community to live in? We don't have time to waste, and we can't afford complacency. The future of our children, the future of our society is at stake. There will always be competing priorities on Beacon Hill. There will always be talk about solutions to big issues: healthcare, immigration, tax reform, global economy, that appear to be of more immediate concern. But immigration, economy, and tax reform are serious problems to be solved, but I would suggest that they're symptoms of a more systemic disease. It doesn't take much reflection to see how these issues are interconnected. James Carville famously said, "It's the economy, stupid," but I respectfully disagree. We are breaking our promise to provide an adequate education for every child. We are failing to give them a future. Every morning, our children pledge allegiance to the United States of America. Liberty and justice for all. That's what I hear. Where's our pledge to their future? Our children need more and deserve more support for their education. We need help keeping our children engaged and educated. We need sufficient personnel, teachers, social workers, counselors, after-school programs, homework help, special education and special programs to keep them engaged. We need to have the adequate funding to provide for an adequate education, and I would like to get the legislators engaged in this process. Next generation's promising potential shouldn't be hindered by today's broken promises. We need your help.
My son went to the Bailey School, the Daly School, and Lowell High School. And my wife and I always said if we had to do it all over again, we'd do the same thing.
Oh,
You got an I know, but you know, in an inner city, we're always gonna have issues. That's the great thing about in urban centers, we're always gonna have issues. But I'm firmly committed that the Lowell school system is a terrific, terrific school system. And he's at Boston College right now, along with 6 other graduates of that class went to Boston College, which is a pretty good amount to go to a select school like that. And
the teachers doing the best they can with the means that they have. And my children, I mean, like they're 1st and 3rd grade, so far they're faring well. They're at the top of their class. I'm not so much concerned for them right now, but there's so many that are failing. I mean, when you think of, when you just think of the high school dropout rate, that doesn't come from nowhere.
But you know what, one of the problems, and I know we're getting off message here, but and I've always said it, it's, now look you're down here in Boston. I'm sure your kids are doing great in school. Yours are at the top of the class because you're there. It's parental involvement. That's
yeah, but
really
not all children have the opportunity to get that much parental involvement if both parents work.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that what I see is that we have to get more parental involvement to also help out the problems. We'd go to Lowell High School. My son, Karen's daughter